It's the 11 o'clock show. We wanted to bring you Britain's brightest new star, but we couldn't get Flat Eric. So, here's Iain Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome to the 11 o'clock show on Tuesday the 30th of March. With me in the studio tonight is the stealth bombshell herself, Daisy Donovan.
Hello.
And joining us live from a hotel in Belgrade is the 11 o'clock show's war correspondent, Mackenzie Crook. Hello, Mackenzie.
Yeah, Ian, I'm here in Belgrade. I'm going to be dodging bullets for your entertainment a little later in the show.
Well, it certainly sounds like a lot of fun. We'll be hearing some more from Mackenzie later on in the programme. But wow, what a weekend of news! With all this war, some of the more important stories have tended to be overlooked. So to redress the balance, here's a look at what some of you may have missed in today's papers. We call it our Red Top Roundup. Now, it's been revealed that the MOD have been testing the effects of decompression. How do they do it? Well, obviously, they fire goats out of submarines. This is a true story, I swear. This experiment was repeated over 100 times, and a goat exploded on every occasion. Now, the thing I want to know is, how many goats do you have to fire out of a submarine before you realise, yeah, I think they're all going to explode? That's what a goat sounds like being shot out of a submarine. It's not a pleasant sound. Now, there's also this in the Express today. I don't know if you saw this. This is the RAF conflict kit, which is protecting our boys in Kosovo, so good luck to them. The kit comes with all the essential items needed for survival, but what caught our eye is the fact that they seem to carry a gold coin with them. And this is to bribe locals. Written around the edge, they have the phrase, "I'm a British Air Force pilot, I'm in need of help, take me to a place of safety, and you can keep this money." Now, the thing is, it's written in English, so that's going to be quite useless. And I don't think the people over there are that thick. They don't need a coin to tell them the strange man with a broken arm and a parachute on his back is a pilot up shit creek. All the signs are there to see. And also, where can you spend the money? It's only valid in certain branches of ASDA and DFS. And finally, the best invention I've ever seen in my life is the Dutch Lady P, which is the first standing ladies' urinal. Got one down here for you to see. Soon to be introduced in Britain, but how do you use it? Well, Daisy is the public servant. She's going to show us all how to use it.
No, I'm fucking not.
For the big stories of today, there's nobody, I mean nobody, better than Tommy Vance. So here he is with his news slam.
Tuesday, March the 30th. And despite the Russian peace deal, the NATO offensive drags on. It's only been 6 days, but already it feels like a week. If it goes on any longer, our boys are going to completely lose the plot of EastEnders. From B-52s to VDUs, and these screens have been polluted with a porno pox. They call it the Melissa virus, and its porn power can crash computers around the globe. Still, at least it gives us the chance to see men fingering chickens. From computer crashes to Little Ern's ashes. And the last third of Morecambe and Wise brings us sunshine for the final time. When will we see his like again? Probably Easter Sunday, after the news. The one with Andre Previn. I kid you not.
Senior world figures in Northern Ireland this week are Hearn, Blair, G. Yes, Ali G is right there among them to find out what's going on in Ulster. Later in the show, he meets the head of the Orange Order, George Patton.
Do you not think you should be teaching your youth electric boogaloo, that kind of thing, so they can use the moves on the dance floor and not the guns?
Definitely. Anything that brings people together and turns them away from violence, I'm for that.
Just hours after the first Allied airstrikes hit Kosovo, the newspaper headline writers were literally at war. The Star led with, "Serbs, you right." The Sun went with "Clobber slobber," while the Independent, as catchy as ever, led with "Airstrikes begin as Blair says we must end vile oppression." But should the war drag on, the puns are bound to dry up, and the headlines will be that much harder to come by. This will be a big disaster for the papers. How long before they run out of their terrible puns? Now, we're no experts, but we at the 11 o'clock show believe we can spot the headlines coming. So look out for these. Are you being served? Or, in the event of a victory for Slobodan, you go boss. Of course, if Slobodan should lose, we'll get you go boss.
And in the event of NATO dropping more bombs, look out for Allies carpet. And if they don't, Eliza Doolittle.
4 weeks on, and phase 3 would find them scraping the bottom of the pun barrel. If, God forbid, new tabloid villain Arkan turns his sights to Russia, we'll get I can see clearly now Ukraine has gone. All the papers are calling for Keegan to stay as full-time boss of England. And we're backing him too, not because of his impressive run of one victory, but because of his inspired choice of team guru. To fill the space left by God-bothered healer and prophet Eileen Drury, Keegan needed someone pretty special. And he found him, Mr. Watt Nicol. And Daisy's been looking at his CV.
He's been, and I quote, a hypnotist, a wrestler, pet man on Scottish kids show Roundabout, a dustman, a folk singer. Let's hear a snatch.
If I had another penny, I would have another Jill.
What a great snatch.
Don't talk about me like that. A speedway rider, a zoologist, a playwright, the husband of Miss Scotland, and most impressive of all, a scriptwriter for Norman Wisdom. Just the kind of man, I'm sure you'll agree, that should be in charge of motivating our national football team.
And we're so impressed by his motivational magic that I took to the streets with the 11 o'clock show's very own Mr. Motivator, Noel Diamond. So Kevin Keegan has employed a former Scottish dustman and children's TV presenter as the England team's very own Mac Motivator. But just what is all this personal motivation bollocks, and can it actually work? Well, I've come here to London to find out. Do you believe in personal motivation?
No, I'm bone idle. Always have been. I was born bone idle, I shall die bone idle.
What do you use to inspire you and carry you on to great things?
I had my dog.
Is there anything that would inspire you to get off your arse and do something?
No.
So people don't appear to have much faith in the power of words. Well, maybe they'd change their mind if they were persuaded by our very own former dustman and TV presenter turned inspirational counsellor, Noel Diamond. David, this is Noel. Noel, this is David. Now, Noel is a qualified personal motivator. If I can leave you with him for 30 seconds, he's going to try a couple of techniques. We'll see you get on. I'll come and ask you a few questions. Good luck.
You tell me what you think's good about yourself, and what I'll do, when you've told me that, I'll put you down. I'll say, no, you're not, you're rubbish at that. And then, instead of you getting upset, you come back at me and say, no, I'm not, I'm brilliant. What are you good at, Rob?
Just flooring, basically.
No, I don't think so. I saw a floor that you laid recently, it was all splintered.
Well, I've been doing it 22 years, so...
22 years, that's fucking rubbish. You've only been doing it for a fortnight. Come back on. What I want you to do, just pick out any words at all, and I'll make you feel better about that particular thing by putting a word in front of it or afterwards. Let's just have a try, see if it works. Just pick out anything at all.
Radio.
Good radio. Another one.
Video.
Good video. See, you're picking out electrical equipment. I like that. That's something a lot. And something else?
Cassette.
Good cassette. See? Just by putting the word good in front of it, that's sort of lifting it up and just putting it onto it. Do you think that's working at all?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Lots of different techniques.
Noel, Ian, if I can interrupt, sorry.
Very difficult in a shop.
Ian, I know we're not working in the best situation. Ian, what do you think about Noel Diamond's motivation techniques?
I'm not sure it's working for me.
Some people pay up to £500 an hour for that therapy.
Crackers. More money than sense.
Like he's telling me that I'm no good at flooring, and, well, it's up to him, he don't know. I've never seen him in my life.
So there we have it. After England's conquest of Poland at the weekend, and some of Noel Diamond's achievements here today, we should underestimate personal motivators at our own risk. This has been Ian Lee, The 11 O'Clock Show, London. Now, while other TV crews are leaving Yugoslavia, soon to be twinned with Uganda, The 11 O'Clock Show is going in. At great personal risk, our very own Mackenzie Crook has smuggled himself into the country, and now, in defiance of Serbian broadcasting restrictions, we can go to him live by satellite. Mackenzie, are you there? Hello, Mackenzie, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, I'm here, Ian.
Where are you exactly, Mackenzie?
I'm at the Hotel Akabusi in Belgrade.
Belgrade? But you only left about an hour ago.
Yeah. EasyJet to Dubrovnik and then I hitched.
Are you in the hotel where all the other journalists are hanging out?
They've all gone. John Simpson's bottled it. Kate Adie shat herself. Tomahawk Missile took out her tea and coffee making facilities and she's clocked what's going on, legged it.
So, what's it like on the ground?
Well, Ian, this morning on the road to Pristina, I saw 3 dogs. One had a ball, one had a stick, and one had nothing. I think that pretty much sums up the situation here.
And what's life like in the capital?
Well, Ian, Belgrade is certainly a city of contrasts, with a nightlife scene that surprises many visitors. You can catch live jazz funk at Cafe Hugo every Tuesday night.
Now, how's it been with all the bombing and stuff? Can you describe the view from the window behind you, please?
Well, everywhere I look, there's Serbian stuff. Lots of brightly coloured 80s fashions, ski jackets, guns, and all the shops are closed, even pound stretchers.
You are in Serbia, aren't you, Mackenzie?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, Mackenzie, thank you for that. We have to leave it there. We wish you luck in evading the Serbian security police. The world waits upon your every word.
There are a few politicians of vision, insight, intelligence and wit left in this country. SNP leader Alex Salmond and former Labour deputy leader Lord Dennis Healey are undoubtedly 2 of them. So what kind of dim-witted shallow fool would waste their precious time and magnificent brains by talking bollocks to them? That would be me then. Anyone for Dennis? Hello, Dennis Healey.
Hello.
Alex Salmond. Okaidanu, how are you?
Not quite the way I would put it, but pretty well, thanks.
Politics plus Dennis Healey equals...
Well, I don't know what it equals, really.
Well, the number I have in my
Politics isn't
head.
just Dennis Healey, it's politics with Dennis Healey in it, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of other people.
Perhaps the number 12. Perhaps the number 12. It's a great sense of responsibility in the House. Do you ever feel like you're touching cloth?
No. And since then, class has played a very, very much smaller part in politics, so that now...
How small a part?
Well, very, very little indeed, I think.
How small?
Well, I'll give you a very good example.
Is devolution a golden shower? So you struck while the iron was hot.
That was...
But how hot was the iron?
Well, the iron was very hot.
You laugh, you cry, you live, you die. What?
Did you say that, or was that a sort of poet? I think it's quite good, I quite liked that. And that's what
Well, I thought of it.
And after all, he wasn't born when I wrote that article in 1952.
Gosh, so you can see into the
Yes.
future. Are
Yes.
you a psychic?
Yes. No.
Scotland's a wool. What are you knitting?
Yes, I didn't quite get the question. Try again.
If Scotland's a wool.
A wool? Oh, well, what are we knitting? An exciting new tartan fabric for the benefit of the nation.
That's lovely. We look forward to tartan fabric. You know, you spent years in opposition to Thatcher.
Yes.
What did you think of her as a person? I mean, did she bring you off? Power like a leaking pipe. Drip, drip, drip.
Well, after I get some, I'll let you know.
And she was very dogmatic as a communist.
Was she the kind of person you'd give a pearl necklace to?
I would give a pearl necklace to... Oh, no, I wouldn't give a pearl necklace to anyone except my wife. Or maybe you, if you're very, very nice to me for the rest of the year.
Well, I hope so.
Pure cheeky genius. Well, that's the end of part 1. Join us after the break when head Orange man George Patton gets tangoed by Ali G. Very excited. Hi, what are you doing here? I know you from somewhere. Welcome back to the 11 o'clock show.
I'm back.
Yeah,
Right, I'm safe.
Whatever, Mackenzie, I'm doing a show. Just time to give the answers to yesterday's quiz on Slobodan Milosevic's right-hand man, Arkan. He's been in all the papers today. The answer to question 1 is the butcher of Kosovo. Question 2, a passionate Serb patriot, but we would have accepted total nutter. Question 3, probably a football manager or an Essex publican. And finally, question 4, bit of a tricky one this. Ethnic cleansing is a form of genocide and not, as many of you thought, a body shop product. And today's winner is a Mr. James Major. Congratulations, Mr. Major. You win these knee pads, elbow pads and safety helmet as modelled by my lovely assistant, Mackenzie. Perfect for all your falling down needs there. Get up and sit down now. Now, we've all seen this painting by Tory leader William Hague plastered all over the papers, and it's caused much debate and criticism. But we think it's great. It's a masterpiece. It's exactly what you expect from the Tory leader. Or a 5-year-old child. However, I'm no expert, so would you please welcome top art and personality psychologist, Dr. Glenn Wilson. Hi, Glenn. Nice to meet you. Sit down. Glenn, before we carry on, I've got to say you look very much like the gambler, Kenny Rogers.
Oh, thank you.
Anyone ever stopped you in the street and asked you to sink out of the county at all?
No, I haven't had that problem.
Really? Well, maybe we'll get a party afterwards, see what we can do. Now, you are a genuine arts and personality psychologist, aren't you?
That's right. I study people's creative output and what it might tell about their personality.
OK, well, bearing that in mind, what profile of William Hague's character do you get from this painting?
Well, bold, confident strokes there, optimistic, innocent, perhaps to the point of being naive.
How much is this picture worth? Because some pictures are worth loads.
Well, the picture's worth nothing, but that signature, I think, is probably worth at least 20p.
Fancy, I'll be holding on to that one then. Now, lots of great world leaders have painted pictures as Churchill and Hitler. Is this picture evidence that William Hague is the next Adolf Hitler?
No, not at all. It's a pastoral scene which is peaceful, and I think that is a clue to his personality, a non-aggressive personality.
Do you love William Hague?
I couldn't say I would want to go to bed with him, particularly, no.
You'd have a kiss and a cuddle and a fondle in an alleyway after a few shandies?
Well, that, yeah.
Who wouldn't? He's a very good-looking bald man. Is this a delightful pastiche representing the naivety and simplicity of youth, or is it just rubbish?
Well, it's certainly coming from the deep subconscious, and it's not done by a dolphin, because dolphins tend to use vertical strokes rather than horizontal ones.
Dolphins?
Yes.
I'm glad we've got an expert on to prove this wasn't painted by a dolphin. That's fantastic. Can I just ask you a question? If I had a picture by Tony Blair here and one by William Hague, would you always go for the William Hague picture?
I'd have to see what Tony Blair has to offer, but I think the Tate would certainly be interested in that one.
Finally, in your humble opinion, which is the best painting? Is it this William Hague's painting or this picture down there?
Well, that's very difficult. That's a bit representational, I think. You know, that's everyday stuff. No,
I'm going to get you to a point. Which is the best?
Definitely this.
Shut up, is it? You just said this is worth 20 pence. That's worth millions. This is rubbish.
Well, that's only a reproduction. That's the original.
Oh, you've got me there, even though it's a colour photocopier. Ladies and gentlemen, that was very interesting. Thank you very much. Glenn Wilson, thanks a lot for your time.
Now, this Friday is Good Friday. In Northern Ireland, it's an especially significant day, as it's the day on which traditionally the Good Friday Agreement is either signed or falls apart. What a coincidence. But what is going on in Northern Ireland? Well, who better to ask than George Patton, the head of the Protestant Orange Order. You know the ones, bowler hats, sashes, big drums, big smiles. We sent our voice of youth, Ali G, to give them the squeeze and get the juice on the Orange Order.
Yeah, don't stop. It goes out to the crew up top. That's it.
Booyakasha. Check this. I was with George Patton. He be the chief executive of the Grand Orange Lodge of Ireland. Wicked. So what is the order?
The Orange Order is essentially a religious organisation.
Aye. What have you got against the Protestants?
We actually are Protestant.
So then why do you have something against them?
Absolutely nothing against them at all. Yeah,
why do you march against them all the time?
We march not against anyone,
Aye,
but as an expression of our culture, of our identity, of our faith.
Is it not strange being the head of a Catholic organisation when you is a Protestant?
Sorry, the Orange is actually a Protestant organisation.
So why do they not make that clear?
Well, I would like to think that we would make it clear.
So what is these things up here?
These
do you get them and chop off the Catholic's head?
Oh, no, definitely not.
So So let's talk about this march. What is this march that everyone banging on about?
Yeah, that's a good question, because we don't see the fuss sometimes.
Do you have music at this march?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, lots of music.
Oh, real?
The whole works.
Do you have drums?
We have drums, yep.
And is you like knocking out a drum and bass thing, or is it more kind of speed garage that you was knocking out?
It's both. It's all there. Different drummers have their own rhythms. It's an individual thing.
Do you not think, though, we're not giving advice, but we're saying from my own experience, sometimes it's good to back up the drums with a bit of human beatbox?
Yeah.
Do you not think that would be good?
Yes, of course it would.
But if someone was doing the, you know...
Yeah.
People could chill from both sides and get into that.
I hope that the people could.
What can we do to increase the peace? Would you ever marry a Protestant girl?
I have, yeah.
Well, that is a gesture, no? That is a long way to getting the peace.
Yeah, but I'm a Protestant as well.
Okay,
so,
all right.
Yeah.
So, but if you weren't married to her, would you marry a Catholic girl then?
Possibly because of my faith, I wouldn't.
What if she was really fit, though?
Because my religion is so important to me, that's going to be the overriding factor.
But what if she had her own car? She had a, you know, sound system, whatever. She wasn't going to be stealing money from you, whatever. Would you go with her then?
I think that, you know, I am friends with Roman Catholics and I have Roman Catholic friends.
But would you get jiggy with them?
Yeah, I think that whenever it comes to that, my religion is the most important thing to me.
Even if they was really, really fit?
Yep. Yep, that's the bottom line. Yeah, that's hard for people to understand, but...
even if she was incredibly the fittest?
Even so, yeah.
So you was telling me honest that if the Cause, them band the Cause, they came in here now and said they wanted to marry you, you wouldn't just jump and say yes?
Yeah,
say no.
I've got my views, you know, they're important to me.
You was telling me you'd say no to the Cause?
Yeah.
All three of them? So you really believe this thing?
I believe it.
You're really into it? It ain't just a joke? Respect. Keep it real. Keep it safe. Increase the peace. Nice.
Cheers.
Now, here at the 11 o'clock show, we like to help out. When Fergie lost her home, we sent her a copy of Loot. When we learned Pinochet was under house arrest in Surrey, we sent him a game of Connect 4 to help while away those long winter evenings.
And now we're here to mediate between the feuding Gallagher brothers. Yesterday, Fat Gallagher, Paul, got married, but neither of his richer, more handsome brothers turned up. Noel couldn't be asked, and Liam and Patsy went shopping. Looks bad, I know, but we've received an apology from Liam and Patsy to Paul Gallagher, which they've asked us to read out on air. Mackenzie?
Yeah, and it says, Dear Pete, sorry we missed your wedding. It was unavoidable. I had to go to IKEA. Love, Patsy. And Liam's put his own little mark on there in sketch form. Down the bottom, if you can see it. This is you, bruv.
Well, I hope that clears the air between them. And that's the end of the show. Just time to give you the results of our Spot the Stealth Bomber competition. If you remember, we gave you this picture and asked you to put across where you thought the stealth bomber was. Now, most of you guessed here, here and here, which unfortunately was way off the mark. The correct answer was, of course, down here. Well, that's it from the show. Until tomorrow, good night.
Good night.
Well, the 11 o'clock show takes its name very literally and starts at the earlier time of 11 o'clock tomorrow.